The moment my dad slammed his fork down, the entire table went silent, except for the crackle of the Christmas fire and the sound of my 6-year-old's spoon clattering to the floor. My mom didn't even look at me when she said it. "You're not welcome here anymore. Pack your things. Both of you." The tree lights blinked like nothing was wrong. The ham was still steaming. And just like that, on Christmas night, my parents kicked me and my child out into the snow. I remember standing there, coat half zipped, my kid gripping my hand and asking in a whisper if Santa had forgotten us. My parents stood in the doorway, arms crossed, faces cold. The same people who taught me what family meant were now pretending I wasn't theirs. The reason? I had refused to give them the money for my small business, the one I built after they told me I'd never amount to anything as a single parent. They called me selfish, ungrateful, a disappointment. Then they shut the door. We spent that night in my car. I used my jacket as a blanket and told my kids stories until they fell asleep, trying not to cry loud enough to wake them. I stared at the frost forming on the windshield and made myself a promise. I would never let anyone make us feel small again, not even blood. The next few months were brutal. I worked nights, slept in snatches, and learned how to stretch $1 into miracles. But something strange happened when I stopped chasing my parents' approval. My business grew. A video I posted, just me, telling the truth about starting over, went viral. Orders poured in. Messages from strangers who believed in me poured in too. For the first time, I felt seen. By the next Christmas, my life looked completely different. We had a warm apartment, a real tree, and laughter that didn't feel fragile. I almost forgot about my parents until I got the invitation. A big family Christmas party. Their house. Same dining room. Same table. The note said they wanted to reconnect. I almost deleted it. But then I realized something. Closure isn't about forgiveness. Sometimes it's about showing up whole. I arrived calm, dressed well, confident. My kid was smiling, holding a gift they insisted on bringing. When my parents opened the door, their faces changed. They had heard about my success. Everyone had. But seeing it was different. The whispers started immediately. Cousins stared. Aunts leaned in. During dinner, my mom raised a glass and made a speech about families sticking together through hard times. The irony was suffocating. When she finished, I stood up. I didn't yell. I didn't insult them. I just told the truth. I talked about that Christmas night, about the cold, about my child asking why their grandparents didn't love them anymore. The room went dead silent. My dad tried to interrupt, but I kept going. I explained how being thrown out became the reason I stopped doubting myself, how losing their support forced me to build my own strength, how my success existed not because of them, but in spite of them. Then I placed a small envelope on the table. Inside was a check, not because they deserved it, but because I was done carrying the weight of their expectations. "This," I said, "is the last thing you'll ever get from me. What you lost that night wasn't money. It was us." I took my kid's hand and walked out before anyone could clap, cry, or argue. That was my revenge. Not yelling, not revenge plots, not destroying them. It was becoming everything they said I couldn't be, and protecting my child from ever feeling unwanted again. Some people think revenge is about payback, but the most powerful kind? Living so well that the people who hurt you have to sit with the truth forever.